And I just had, I don't know if you can, I'm going to just turn this so you can see we've just had a new entrance into the room. One of my felines has wandered in and is very busily now finding her place to nap. So this always adds to the fun. And one has just came in and saw that her sister is on the chair. So she's turned around to go someplace else. So today the card, oh, and by the way, the integrity cards, for many of them, we have videos that are on the Foundation for Conscious Living website. And so you can supplement what we're doing today by looking at those videos, which also show you how you can use the integrity cards, and will also be a part of the reweaving year-long course that will start in June. So this is a little preamble. I wanted to give more attention to responsibility because I think, and I think you probably have heard me say this, that our ability to respond is really what responsibility is about. It's not about blame or burden, which is the big misunderstanding that people have about responsibility. It's really about I'm able to engage with reality. I'm able to engage with life. So it's not a moral issue. It's really about my growing my ability to be in all of the unknowns of life that continue really day to day in big and little ways. And since we're having certainly a national, here in the US, we're having a bit of a problem with reality right now. It's like, what's real and how do we agree on what's real? I thought this card might be useful for us today. So I'm going to just show you the card, my card that I'm holding on to, which has a lovely collage on it. And then Michelle, could you pull up the PDF so that people can see it? And want to ask you to just consider a couple of different possibilities with this card. So when you look at the image, even just looking at the image without, so focus on the image and then notice as you're circulating your attention inside you, how does your body receive this image? Just what opens up for you? What kinds of sensations, what kinds of thoughts arise for you when you look at the image? And then let yourself continue looking at the image and then use your loop of awareness to look at the image and then bounce your energy inside and then look at the image and bounce your energy around inside. While I say, I experience reality directly through my body and make genuinely response-able choices. I experience reality directly. Wow. So I was just remembering in history class, when we learned that before the Gutenberg Bible, you couldn't experience God directly. You had to experience it through somebody else. And in a lot of places in the world, that is still true. Experiencing reality directly was considered dangerous. And in a way, it is dangerous because then you choose rather than it's not my fault. I didn't do that. I'm just doing what everybody else is doing. So experiencing reality directly is a big deal. See if you are willing to experience reality directly. I experience reality directly through my body and I make genuinely response-able choices. So just bounce that around a little bit inside and notice what occurs. And if something arises, you might want to just take a moment to jot it down. If you have a memory or an image comes up inside, or hearing somebody talking to you, those things I find really makes a difference if I just jot them down. And then the question, which kind of it opens your brain in a different kind of a way, how can I shift from defensiveness into genuine openness to learning and discovery? So, the big benefit of taking on responsibility is that you get to actually make connections between things. That's what responsibility actually is the ability to notice the connection between things. Like earlier in my relationship with Gay, I had an experience where I broke a glass and I was cleaning it up and in the kitchen, and I didn't clean up all of the pieces of it, and Gay stepped on it and cut his foot. And I was looking at, what was that about? Because I realized that I felt kind of scared and a little bit defensive. I was wondering what's going on here. And I realized that this glass that I had broken was a glass that was left over from a previous relationship. And I had the thought I should pass this on and get rid of it. And I didn't. So I had an incompletion. And then I dropped the glass and broke the glass, and it inconvenienced Gay. And so for me, it was such an important lesson about, if I don't get the lesson directly, then life has a way of making it a little bit bigger. So the move that I notice is getting defensive. That's the key move that keeps us from taking responsibility. And so I'd like you to just take a moment to notice right now or currently in your life, what is your key defensive move? So it's going to involve some way of protecting yourself and some way of contracting. So it's likely to be one or a combination of the four fears. So notice if you freeze, if you sort of pull into the middle of you. Notice if some part of you is just trying to get out of here, you're fleeing in some way, or you flee up into your head like, well, that's just normal, everybody does that. Or if you get fighty, well, everybody gets defensive, I'm not defensive. If you get kind of, you get kind of fighty. Or if you get kind of fainty, I just feel overwhelmed. I just really don't quite know how to deal with this, which can go into victim, like you're picking on me and I didn't really do anything. So take a moment and let yourself get defensive the way you get defensive. Let your body get defensive and go ahead and exaggerate for a moment, because I want to tie it into what we were doing earlier. So let your body get defensive. I get kind of pulled in and down. So I sort of do a freeze. I sort of do a freeze hunker, and I'm looking out, peering out, very defensively. And now I'd like you to notice, where is your attention? Where is your attention right now? And I'd like you to take a moment to simply shift that. I'd like you to take the bouncing ball of your attention, the way the bouncing ball used to go underneath the line when you were singing along with, I was just remembering that, we're like, singing along with the chorus. So let the bouncing ball go back and forth between you and somewhere in the space around you, and back and forth until you start feeling a loosening of that defensiveness. And then see if you would be willing to simply shift when you catch yourself getting defensive, to shift into openness. So openness to learning and discovery, in my experience, is one of the most delicious experiences we can have as humans, is discovering something new, opening to something, learning something. And so when I do that, I feel like my my ability to respond to life is expanded. And so that's really what we're up to, is shifting from reactivity that comes from fear that we all experience, and shifting choice by choice into learning and discovery, which makes us genuinely response able. So let's come back to the big screen so we can have a moment of everybody seeing everybody and celebrating. So part of how we can shift our attention also is by appreciating. Appreciating is the quickest, the simplest, and actually the most effective way of shifting attention. So take a moment and appreciate yourself for being here. So appreciate yourself for being here in general. So I'm here. Celebrate being here. There are a whole lot of us, who are not here now. So celebrate your being here, and then celebrate somebody else being here. So maybe celebrate somebody on the call whom you don't even know, and just let your attention go out and celebrating that they're here. Hello, so glad that you're here. And then celebrate again your being here. And you can celebrate that by bouncing the appreciation ball around inside you. And then celebrate someone else for being here. And then notice that you can let that celebration go both directions in a comfortable rhythm. And that when you get stuck, which you will, that one of the key moves is simply shifting your awareness will help get you unstuck and help you get into reality, which is where all of the good stuff happens. So see if you would be willing this week to celebrate reality, celebrate your connection to reality, and appreciate as one of your key shift moves. So thank you so much for playing today and being here. I'm appreciating all of us creating community, because really the big intention here is to fill your reservoir so that you go, oh yeah, it's great to be human. It's great to be here. So in one of the Broadway musicals, I really enjoyed, one of the lines was, "It's great to be me. It's great to be me." So take a moment and just celebrate. It's great to be me. And it's great to be you. And all of us together are truly weaving awareness, aliveness, vitality, responsiveness, so that we can enjoy the journey while we're solving all of the world's problems, one at a time, or all of them at once. All right, so see you next time. And I'm going to leave now, and you're totally welcome to stay and continue appreciating. Bye now.